Well, good afternoon. It is Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. Journal 297, T+337. Um, there's a lot going on, suffice it to say, locally, globally, with regard to life in general, with regard to the newly announced pandemic created by COVID-19 and this new strain of coronavirus. And I think that's all a reason for consideration, for serious thought, in many different respects. And that leads itself, I mean, it's overwhelming. And what that means basically is that you have to make choices, because no matter what you do, unless you really focus on what it is you're doing and really work diligently to conceive and then complete a project, there are going to be loose ends. And loose ends are something that I was never really, well, I shouldn't say that I was never really good at, because I really was good at loose ends. I was a procrastinator and never really understood what the cause of the procrastination was, and never got it under control until I really did understand it. So, I mean, we're going to be talking about two things simultaneously, I think. One is procrastination and at least the possibility of what it could mean and what it means to me, what I've discovered about myself and procrastination and what it's trying to tell me. And the fact that over the last number of years, I've become loose end averse. I don't like loose ends. I don't like frayed edges. I like things to be needy and to be neat and complete and tidy, without things falling through the cracks. And what I discovered about procrastination that's really interesting is that, at least interesting to me, is that when I procrastinate, and I still do to some degree, nowhere near as much as I used to, it's because there is something bumbling around in the back of my mind that's telling me that either whatever it is I'm considering needs more due diligence, needs more discovery, needs more consideration, or I really shouldn't be doing it at all. And that helps a lot. This business about loose ends is something entirely different. This is something that's come on recently. I can't really put my finger on whether or not it started when I stopped procrastinating as much, but it's very, very possible that it could. And one of the things that's problematical about this aversion to loose ends that I've developed is, under the present circumstances, now that my freedom and mobility have been abridged to some degree because of my recovery and lack of an immune system and the COVID-19 coronavirus that threatens so much of our normal everyday life, which is cause for concern, because the result of whatever disruption that's going to cause is going to be a lot of loose ends. And that makes me neurotic. It makes me crazy, because all those loose ends are opportunities for even more chaos. And I think it's something that we really should be aware of, and we should be committed to addressing the best possible way that we can, which is probably by just making the commitment to complete projects that we have begun. And it's not an easy thing to do, especially when the world is screaming at you you know, coming at you in all different directions, fracturing your attention and demanding that you leave one project to look at another project. No different than the chaos created by social media and, you know, digital media, your phone, your iPad, your computer, your inbox, your one of a million other projects. So I'm working on this thing about loose ends. I'm working on this thing about procrastination constantly, certainly more than I ever have before. And I think, for me at least, it's critical. And I don't know where you are in the world or who's watching this, but I believe that the need to tidy up all of these loose ends is just as important to you, especially if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur, an automotive repair shop owner, maybe a contractor. Because loose ends will kill you. Loose ends will distract you. Loose ends will wreck your concentration, and fractured concentration can result in really serious problems. And I think that's one of the things that we're going to probably talk about tomorrow or the next day. And that has to do with preparation, because one of the things that I believe or have come to believe is that one of the ways that you can clean up a lot of these loose ends and perhaps even eliminate the possibility of them developing is through preparation, through anticipation. So the next blog we're going to do is probably going to be on anticipation and preparation, or preparation and anticipation. Who knows? So until then, stay well, take care. As always, I'm always interested in what you have to say or what you think. So reach out. You can get me at mitch@misfirebook.com. And I'll be glad to address any questions or concerns. In the meantime, that's it for now.